So my name's Michelle Koziak. I'm a descendant of the Wiradjuri peoples, and on my mother's side and Ngunnawal on my father's side. And I'm a proud woman trying to push Indigenous matters, and especially about young women and making sure that they have the right or that equal opportunity in education. So Soroptimist fits really well with my social justice. So I'd like to make sure that I have all these things written, but I didn't want to say all of them. I'd like to acknowledge and pay my respect to the elders, the Yagara and Turrbal people of the land, and Waka Waka to the left, and Gubbi Gubbi clan, because North Lake sits in this unusual area where we have many people coming together in one place. It's a very big meeting place, so it's very fitting that we sit here on that land. So thank you very much for coming. And I'll hand you over to Fiona. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. So the very first award that a person that we want to acknowledge is our Young Community Volunteer of the Year. So Amalia is here with her family, and we're delighted to have her here. So Amalia is a very gifted child with a great deal of empathy and compassion, especially for children who are disadvantaged. Last year, she committed to collecting 108 backpacks with school supplies to provide to children of families that could not afford to purchase the materials on their own. Amalia's father, Eddie Fraser, is a SIMNI Soroptimista. That's how we affectionately refer to our husbands and partners and fathers and uncles and all the men that support us to do what we need to do. He participated in our special conversations with Dad, building respectful relationships project when Amalia was first born. Eddie is a Crown prosecutor, and Amalia's mother, Marissa, who's also here today, and her siblings. It's a full family affair. She works as a settlement teacher, helping individuals and families with budget management strategies. So an incredibly powerful family. You can hear how committed they are to community. So as SIMNI, we helped to contribute 8 packs in 2022 and 10 packs in 2023 to Amalia's cause. So she also selected 10 reading books for inclusion in the backpacks, so personally hand-selected them. And Chris Knight, our SIMNI president, shared with Amalia the Postcards project to support children of the Ukraine by writing a message to them. These postcards were then sent to our Soroptimist sisters in Sweden and Poland and passed on to the children of the Ukraine currently seeking asylum in these countries. Amalia also made a little video message with a greeting to these children that's been shared on our Facebook page and other social media feeds. We love supporting the efforts of the next generation of Soroptimist young women in their endeavours to make a difference to the lives of others. And Amalia, you are a wonderful example of how you empower others by educating to lead. Can we please acknowledge Amalia?
On behalf of Amalia, I'll say a big thank you. The work that SIMNI does is invaluable in the community, and I recognise that, and our Soroptimistas recognise that. As Fiona said, as Cassie said earlier, there's equity and equality, and they're very different. It is significantly important that we are equitable and that we achieve equity and equality while simultaneously indifferent. I think that what SIMNI does and Soroptimist International does is integral in the awareness and education of our future young budding girls that are going to be our future leaders, teachers, doctors, and educators of tomorrow. So what you all are doing is really important. And as a parent to 2 young girls, it is my hope that they look out to you guys in the future so that they can see how women support each other in the community and how important it is to build each other up and straighten each other's crowns when they're on the side. Ladies, thank you so much for all your work.
Beautiful. Okay, so our second awardee is Community Volunteer of the Year. So SIMNI members first got to know Michelle when she worked at Chameleon House, which is a youth crisis house support home for young girls, young parents on the peninsula. Michelle's career in the housing support as a housing support officer for at-risk youth and families spans 19 years across many areas of southeast Queensland, including Redcliffe Peninsula, Logan City Council and Zilmia. As many workers in the youth housing crisis care know, hours worked don't finish and don't start at regular times. So Michelle will give many volunteer hours and energy freely to help those in need, especially young mums and families. Michelle has a calm and supportive energy and is passionate about helping those experiencing difficulty. She connects with the youth at a heart level, and they find her easy and helpful to talk to. She has a great capacity to connect people with the support and help they require, both through her work, her volunteering, and as a local living on the peninsula. She's an amazing role model and is always giving her best. Michelle has been a volunteer at the Peninsula Power Soccer Club, previously Margate and Redcliffe City. So she's been there as a coach and a manager of young teams, volunteering in many executive and non-executive roles over the years at the club. Even event management and coordinator roles, and also as a player and mentor for the youth and ladies teams. So during this time, Michelle saw the struggle that many players experienced emotionally. Sadly, several young friends and players took their own lives, and this added to Michelle's desire to provide a hub for those feeling challenged, a place that provided comfort, a willing ear, and a non-judgmental environment. From a young age, Michelle always dreamed of opening a community-focused, family-supportive op shop. Last year, she opened the EMM, the Empower Shop for Opportunity, named after the 3 young women, Emma, Moy, and Mary, who tragically took their own lives. The shop has fast become a haven for community, and she continues to support the women in football on the peninsula, sponsoring 2 female masters teams, her wonderful Wobby Bums, providing mentoring, love and compassion to all who ask for it. The shop has also provided a space for others to volunteer and give back. Michelle is a quintessential volunteer, always putting up her hand to help others, digging deep within her own personal, emotional well of resilience and tenacity to support those around her. She doesn't ask others to do anything that she wouldn't be prepared to do herself. She talks her talk and she walks her walk. That's why we're honouring Michelle Ferrugil as our Community Volunteer Awardee. It got me too. A laminated certificate just doesn't feel like enough, but yeah, please.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank everybody, particularly Marty, who I have known for a long, long time. I wasn't expecting this. I was invited along today and I had no idea that I'd been nominated. When I started working at Chameleon Housing, that was quite a long time ago, I noticed then that there was a real gap for the time that I was at Chameleon Housing. We had a lot of young teenage girls and boys come through. And in the 9 years that I was there, on not one occasion did a parent come through community and ask me to check on their children. So I understand that there was a real gap and that we could just provide a safe place back then. We also had 5 properties that we managed for single young parents on the peninsula. And that took me back to a child that also was raised in a domestic violence house. Back then, when I was a child, the word violence was never mentioned. It was just a domestic between husband and wife. And it wasn't until I started as a teenager realising that the word violence was then introduced to domestic violence. And there would need to be acknowledgement that violence and domestic violence comes in all shapes, verbal, and at the moment it's quite complex with domestic control that is quite evident. And that's been around for a long time, but has not been brought to the surface so that we can openly talk about it and reach out for other people. With me, I opened Empower, the Shop of Opportunity, as a tick on my bucket list. It was a dream I always wanted to do. I just always wanted to open an op shop. I've been doing functions at Peninsula for 20 years, and everything that we did in the function room was all op shopped. And so my husband used to say, "What are you going to do with all this stuff? You know, I'm taking up storage everywhere." And I said, "I'll open up my own little op shop and sell it." And a year down the track, we've been open a year now, and we've had such an immense support from the community that we were able to raise about $60,000-$70,000 in the last 12 months. We have 5 volunteers, which I am so appreciative of the ladies that come in and volunteer and support Empower. Like was said, Empower was named after 3 ladies, Emma, Moy and Mary, who sadly took their own lives. So it's about keeping conversations going in regards to mental health. Those 3 ladies were all from completely different backgrounds. For Emma, she was a childcare worker on the Moreton Peninsula at the Beehive. For Moy, she was in the army when she took her own life. And for Mary, Mary was the mother of 2, and only a couple of weeks before Mary taking her life, I ran into Mary in Woolworths, and we just had a good old chat, and yet she never ever said she was in a position 2 weeks later Mary had taken her life. So for me, it's about keeping conversations alive in regards to mental health. It's having a safe place where people can talk. In 2018, we lost our granddaughter to SIDS. And so for us, it was about, again, giving opportunities to families. So we provide opportunities and a safe place for people to have celebrations of lives, in particular for people that have lost their family suddenly due to suicide and loss of children and other things. So I'm very proud to have my daughter and my daughter-in-law sitting here with me today. And I'd like to thank everyone. Thank you.
So our next awardee can't be with us today because she actually lives in China. And that doesn't make her any less capable of contributing directly to this local community. So Tricia Johnson is a small business owner and has been a Soroptimist member for over 25 years. She's used her extensive networking skills and contacts to raise thousands of dollars for many charities and organisations. Tricia has served in a number of positions, including club and region president as a Soroptimist. She's one of our SIMNI global ambassadors who loves meeting up with Soroptimist members all over the world. Tricia and her husband Peter live in China, and prior to the COVID pandemic, she was teaching English to young Chinese students. She's one of our SIMNI linked members and joins our meetings via Zoom each month. and she keeps in touch via email and WeChat, and has participated in many SIMNI conversations and Zoom meetings. Her generosity has no limits, and while she is abroad, she continues to provide additional financial assistance to SIMNI that has supported many projects of ours, such as Love for Lismore projects, our fire and flood appeals, the SIE disaster relief for people in the Ukraine, and Christmas hampers. She's a pay it forward angel and sponsors some of our younger tertiary members. And on her visit back to Australia in late 2022 to see family, we were able to catch up with her and have a coffee and a chat, which was wonderful. It's the first time in 3 years she's been able to get back. In true Trishy form, she bought 100 pencils for inclusion in our early learning and reading projects. And our SI President's Appeal opening doors to a brighter future. Trishy always follows through with any task that she's given, and she also provides an incredible précis of all of the bulletins and the e-span and everything that's happening in the Soroptimist world. She keeps our club members up to date. She's helped us expand our digital technology skills and ensure that we leave no one behind, no matter where they live. So Trishy has sent us a letter, given us a letter, which is on my table right there. I'll just read out her thank you. You must think me most ungrateful and inconsiderate for not accepting your wonderful news to tell me that I've been nominated for an award by the club. I am not one for accolades and prefer to be incognito. I feel sure there are many more deserving members, and isn't it often the quiet ones in the background that won't step forward, but who do so much? It is understandable that a lot of effort goes into compiling nominees, and I thank you for your kind words. It has been my experience in life that it is wise to give something back and not expect anything in return. It gives me great pleasure to help where it is needed. And there's people here today that benefited from the ticket that Trishy bought for them to be here today. I have a profound respect and much admiration for Chris, our president, and for what the club does. You have done a mighty job, Chris, and you are the reason that I have been inspired to take part again and again in Soroptimist International. And that I think is so true for every Soroptimist in the room would say the same. This is an official thank you for the honour of being nominated and being awarded, which I accept with great humility and pleasure, and offer my apologies for not being able to attend the event, and wish you every success. Kindest regards, Trishy. Okay, so our next awardee is Young Woman of the Year. So this awardee's academic achievements in 2022 have been exceptional. She started the year with a very clear goal, and that was to be accepted into university so that she could go study nursing and midwifery. She worked hard to achieve this goal and has been accepted into nursing science at Sunshine Coast University campus at Petrie. She also completed a Certificate 2 in Health Science, and in 2020 she completed a Certificate 2 in Active Volunteering. During her time as a student at Kairos Community College, she has assisted SIMNI members with several projects that focused on the recipes and meals for the tribal lunches that we provide. It helped her gain an understanding of the impact on refugees who had been displaced and who had migrated to other countries. The other project that she was involved in related to social impact on mental health and wellness with other students and in the broader community who have experienced anxiety and depression. She has a vibrant personality. She works hard and is dedicated to always giving her best and encouraging others to succeed to achieve their own goals. She's very much a team player. Her caring nature and desire to support others is another of her redeeming qualities. We are very much looking forward to welcoming her as a member of SIMNI and encouraging and supporting her through her tertiary studies and placements. This awardee is a shining example of never giving up on your dreams and encouraging others to pursue theirs. Please congratulate Tamika Bennett.
Hello everyone. First I'd like to say it has been a pleasure meeting each and every one of you in this room and being a part of something as big as this. It is an incredible honour to be standing up here and receiving this award. I'm still shocked. I'm extremely grateful to be joining SIMNI as a tertiary member this year and cannot wait to see all the amazing things that we achieve together. This journey all started with meeting a lovely lady called Chris, who would come to my school and make amazing tribal lunches. I never expected to be up here, but here we are, and I couldn't be any prouder of what every single one of us have achieved. I've come to learn there were always going to be bumps in the road, sometimes more than we think we can handle. But after every bump, I have found support isn't too far away, whether that comes directly from you, from the amazing people and support you surround yourself around. I am proud to say that SIMNI has been one of my biggest supporters. SIMNI and this incredible honouring has shown me that if you will keep trying and pushing yourself, you'll be rewarded even if you're not directly looking for it. Thank you again for allowing me to receive such a great award, and thank you all for listening.
So looking forward to seeing what you get out of your next phase. Congratulations. Okay, so our next award is Businesswoman of the Year. So Cheryl Gray has spent the past 30 years as an advocate for empowering and connecting women through her professional career and experience as a journalist, in public affairs, and running her own communications consultancy. Her ongoing commitment to empower women with the necessary skills, tools, resources and support has contributed to her own business acumen and success. She is also the Australian representative for We Connect International that helps drive more money into the hands of Australian-owned businesses and assisting companies to meet their commitment to diversity and inclusion. She is a business builder, catalyst for change, and also a great friend to spend time with. Cheryl is a quiet achiever, often working behind the scenes to volunteer and support many other organisations and women in business. She is a wife and a mother of 2 young men and knows the challenges of trying to find that happy work-life balance. In her role as owner and CEO of Women's Network Australia, she has supported SIMNI events with sponsorship, copies of W&A magazines and subsidising editorials published in the W&A magazine, which reach an audience of over 40,000 people across Australia. Thanks to her support, we have been able to raise awareness about our SIMNI projects locally and internationally, especially our Soroptimist response to the crisis in the Ukraine. In 2022, the awardee Cheryl, and her team at Mulberry Seed responded to the SIMNI shout out for financial assistance to provide basic food hampers for needy families on the north side. We look forward to welcoming Cheryl as a SIMNI member this year and working together to improve the lives of women and girls locally, nationally and internationally. Cheryl can't be here today, but she's sent us a video that I'm going to play. Come on, play, please play.
Hi everyone, I'm really sorry I can't be with you today. I'm actually down in Sydney at the Sydney Build Expo, where I'm looking forward to connecting with some amazing women in the construction industry. I just wanted to say thank you so much to SIMNI and to all the SIMNI members and the committee for this award. It was a thrill and a surprise to be notified, and I'm deeply honoured. And I'd also just like to say thank you to my amazing colleague Beck McCowan, who is there with you today, along with my sister Kate. I just wanted to say thank you, Beck, for all the amazing work that you've done over the years to keep this small business afloat. It's a tough time for small business, And I really believe in the small stone in the pond and the ripple effect that flows from working and helping with other small businesses. And I know that really fits with what SIMNI believes and the support that you give for women of all walks of life. So thank you. Please have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.
Can I ask Cheryl's representatives, Beck, do you want to come up and receive the award on her behalf?
Speech, Beck. Yeah. Gosh, Chris.
You're welcome to add anything. You're good.
I would just say I know Cheryl is incredibly humbled to be recognised with this award, so she would want me to say thank you again. And it's typical of her to throw in acknowledgement of other people while accepting her own award, and I think that's an indication of what she's like in the community as well. So thank you on her behalf.
So our final awardee for today, this year's recipient of the International Women's Day Woman of the Year. So this year's recipient is an amazing local businesswoman who has worked tirelessly in the aged care industry to create change and empower others. She has systematically grown 2 franchise areas to achieve peak performance and built a solid local business presence by ensuring the provision of high quality in-home aged care and disability support services. She works from the heart and ensures that her employees do the same. She believes in living your truth and leading by example. She is meticulous about the services provided by herself and her team by ensuring that they are tailored to each individual and their unique needs. She is grateful to be a part of each client's journey. She has been a finalist for the last 2 years in the Moreton Bay Innovation and Business Awards Businesswoman of the Year category. This is an award that recognises leading businesswomen who are contributing to our vibrant and diverse region. It has been a tough couple of years, which began with COVID, higher needs cases, staff shortages and floods that greatly impacted businesses such as aged care and disability services. Her leadership and innovation business skills showed immense resilience, capacity to adapt and perseverance to prosper and grow. She is a kind-hearted person, constantly giving back to her community. She aspires to be known for her contribution to people, leadership and workplace culture in her industry. She is continually growing into and improving her business and strives to demonstrate that private sector provision of disability and in-home aged care services can be both ethical and commercially viable. She is a wonderful role model for her family, staff and her community that happily shines through for all others. Could we please acknowledge our Woman of the Year, Suzanne Jones.
Oh, I feel less resilient right now because I'm really nervous standing here, and it feels so much nicer to be awarded something that I personally did not have any input in. Fiona mentioned the finalist of the Businesswoman of the Year twice, in 21 and 22. My business won the Queensland Training Awards in 2021, but those awards are awards that we submit, that we kind of nominate ourselves for. And I'm not saying that they're less important or have less value, because we know best what we do well. But to be nominated and to receive the call from Audrey, who, I'm so sorry, I left 3 messages on my voicemail. I'm so sorry. It was terrible. It was terrible for me. It was terrible, Optus voicemail. It just seems so much more special to me. You know, to be nominated by somebody, and I still don't know who nominated me. I've got no idea. I am not a SIMNI member. Yet.
We're working on that.
But, you know, I've been watching SIMNI now for the last, I think, 6 years, 7 years in the background. I connect, frequently, well, maybe not as frequently as wanted, but I've connected regularly with members. Chris and Marnie, great guidance to me and great role models as well, and everything that they do. And if I think about what we're all seeing on the screen right now, this top right logo there, empowered women empower women. I invite you to really think about this for a little while and let that sink in, because it is important for us to be role models, and it's equally important for us to feel empowered ourselves, and that partially is the environment that we're in, and partially is actually the ownership that we take to empower ourselves. And I'll be talking about that in the keynote a little bit later. But look, I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I feel so honoured and very surprised. So thank you, and I look forward to speaking a little bit more later. Thank you very much.